Hey teams, Lauren here with Bizrok. In this week's video, I want to revisit a patient communication tool that absolutely applies for internal communication. So most of you have heard this, but the 3 F's of communication, and it does go in a specific order, is feel, felt, and found. Now, I love this method of communication for internal feedback, especially whenever you have somebody who's maybe new in the practice and still learning, even if they're experienced, and maybe they even have 20 years of experience in dentistry, which is great. But guys, they're new to your practice. And so your practice is unique. That's what I love so much about dentistry, because it doesn't matter. Out of all the practices that I've been to, I've still never seen 2 that are totally and completely identical. Guys, your practice is unique. So even if somebody has 20 years of experience somewhere else, they're new to your practice. And so you want to provide them feedback. You want to set them up for success. And yes, we do have an entire onboarding guide that walks through different positions and things you should be covering, all the way down to their first 90 days within your organization. But this is how you continue to coach and guide team members as they are learning your ways. This is also really wonderful for temporary team members, like a temp hygienist, a temp doctor, when you're trying to provide them feedback. And guys, the goal is that those temps actually want to be full-time team members in your practice. And so if you apply this and set those team members for success, maybe you'll have a great new recruitment strategy for getting team members into your organization. So whenever you're thinking about feedback in your practice, you want to follow feel, felt, found. So maybe you have a team member who is getting frustrated because they're new to your practice management software. And yes, they have experience just with other softwares and not this one, and it's totally and completely unique. And there's a learning curve, right? Give that person feedback and give them grace. So you might say, hey, Susie, I completely understand how you feel. I've had many team members who felt really frustrated at first because it is new, right? It's a learning curve, but they found they were so glad that they focused on implementing just one thing at a time, mastering one new tool on this software and getting really good at it. And then they would layer, and then they would add something else. And honestly, now they're experts in it. Right where you're starting is right where you need to begin, right? Now you're giving that team member really the heads up, but also the permission to take their time in learning and growing instead of expecting them to be an expert overnight. I tell all team members, it'll probably take a good 6 to 9 months before you're like, I've got it. I know every system and process in this organization. I feel comfortable and I feel like this is home for me. And so leaders, if you're teaching people, you also need to provide the same grace so that you give them permission to take their time to learn and grow and develop. Now, obviously we can talk through milestones along the way, but using the feel, felt, found gives them permission to slowly implement and grow and develop. You can also use this whenever you're having 2 team members that are having issues with each other or not on the same page. Bring them together. Hey guys, I completely understand how you feel. I have had many team members who felt at odds in the past, but they found they were so glad that 1, they got to know each other too, because it humanized them. But 2, they also found that they actually had a lot of similarities. And it wasn't until they had issues and confrontation, they worked through them, that they've created the bond and relationship that they now have. Guys, that increases your culture. So all of our tools and techniques, guys, are designed to help create success in your organization. And they're not just for patient communication. They can absolutely be used for internal team communication. So until next time, we can't wait to see you and serve you soon.